In this section, we'll look more at graphing equations. A linear equation is an equation that makes a straight line when you graph it. Linear equations have no exponents on either variable, either x or y. One way we can graph a linear equation is by plotting points. And we did a little bit of this in the last example in 8.1. So first of all, this question just asks if it's linear. Because this says y squared, because of the squared, it is not linear. No exponents on either variable. So we're going to graph this by plotting points. So the idea is that we're just going to choose x values. It doesn't matter what x values we choose. We'll just try a 1 first. So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Then we'll add 2 to both sides, and we get y is 5. So we made x be 1, and we found y to be 5. That's the point 1, 5. So we would graph that by putting a point right here. So let's try another y value. It doesn't matter, or another x value. It doesn't matter which one we choose. Well, let's try a negative 1 for x. So 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. And then we would subtract 2 from both sides. And we get y is 1. So this is another point. X was negative 1. Y was 1. So we have negative 1, 1. So that would be this point right here. It's a good idea to try 3 points just to make sure, as a double check, that your points are right. So let's do it one more time. And let's choose 0. Again, there's nothing special with the x's I'm choosing. You can choose any x you want and it will still work. So negative 2 times 0 is 0, plus y equals 3. So we get y is 3. This again is a point. X was 0, y is 3, 0, 3. And we can see that all 3 of those points line up, straight line, and that's the graph of this equation. Another way that we can graph is by using intercepts. Intercepts are the place where the graph crosses, either the x-axis or the y-axis. So in this next couple examples, we'll find the x-intercept and the y-intercept to graph our equations. To find the x-intercept, you replace y with 0 and find x. You plot this point on the x-axis. To find the y-intercept, you replace x with 0 and find y, and you plot this point on the y-axis. So let's look at this. We'll find the x-intercept first, which means we want to make y equal 0. So we'll have x minus y is 0 equals negative 2. Well, minus 0 doesn't do anything, so we actually end up with just x is equal to negative 2. Now this is a point, xy. Our x is negative 2, our y was 0. Negative 2, 0. It's a point on the x-axis. So now we're going to do the y-intercept. So we're going to make x equal 0. So x is 0 minus y equals negative 2. 0 doesn't do anything, so we just have negative y equals negative 2. We change the signs on both sides, so we get y is equal to 2. Again, we're going to write a point, x, y. X was 0, y is 2. 0, 2, a point on the y-axis. We draw our line straight through those two intercepts. We'll do it again here, just one more time to practice. We have an x-intercept. We'll find our x-intercept, so we'll make y equals 0. So we have 9/4 x minus 2 times 0 equals 9. Now 2 times 0 is just 0, so that part's not helping us at all. It doesn't do anything to the equation, minus 0. So we really just have 9/4 x equals 9. We're going to divide both sides by 9/4, and that leaves us with x equals 4. Now again, we'll write an equation, or a point, x comma y, so we have 4 comma 0. So 4, 0 would be a point on the x-axis at 4. So do the same thing with the y-intercept. We'll make x be 0. So we have 9/4 times 0 minus 2y equals 9. 9/4 times 0 is just 0. So we end up with negative 2y equals 9. We'll divide both sides by negative 2. If you type that in as 9 divided by negative 2, you get a negative 4.5. So this point, this x and y, would be 0, negative 4.5, which would be right here on the y-axis. It's a y-intercept on the y-axis. So we'll draw our line through the intercepts, and that gives us our graph of our equation.